Welcome on this very rainy morning. Appreciate everybody being here. I'm Bill Cole, the President and CEO of the Baltimore Development Corporation. Can everybody in the back hear all right? Great, thank you. It is my privilege and honor to be here today. This is an exciting event. Our next speaker is going to tell you a little bit about the vision for this project, but I can tell you we've been, at least in the city, we've been waiting for this happy day for a very long time, and I don't think anybody has waited longer than Mr. David Bramble, Managing Partner at MCB Real Estate.
Thanks, Bill, for the lovely introduction. He's right, we've been waiting a really long time for this, but actually there are people who've been waiting longer than MCB, and that's the folks who live in Bayview and Greektown. So glad to see you all here. Good morning, and thank you to the Mayor, Council President Young, Councilman Zeke Cohen, Dr. Bennett, Senator Ferguson, Delegate Learman, and the other officials who are here, including leaders of Greektown and Bayview, who you'll hear from shortly. This is a really dreary day, as you can see, but this one has been a really long time coming. But to have a crowd like this with so many dignitaries and community leaders is just another reminder of how important this project is to Baltimore City. Before I go further, I'd really like to thank all the folks who have worked so hard to get this project to where it is, particularly in the Maryland Department of Environment has played a big role here, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Baltimore Development Corporation, as well as the community stakeholders, of course, Johns Hopkins Bayview Medical Center, and the Greektown Association, Bayview, Southeast CDC, Bayview Business Association, and the Greektown CDC. A lot of people worked on this project to get it to sort of where it is today. I'd like to especially thank the MCB Real Estate team. For a lot of hard work and dedication to take this project from an idea to something that's about to become a reality. And I'd also like to thank my partner, Dave Frederick. He's actually retired, he's no longer working full-time at MCB, but he poured his heart and soul in sort of taking this project, again, from a vision and working with the community leaders to get it to where it is. Many of you may not know MCB. MCB was founded by myself and my partner, Peter Pinkard. It's sort of a great partnership between a City College grad and a Gilman guy, a true sort of public-private partnership, if you will. We started MCB about 11 years ago with a lot of experience working for other people, a dedication to hard work, and like so many other startup companies, absolutely no money. Since then, with a lot of help and a lot of good luck, well, actually a lot of luck, some good, some bad, we've acquired more than $1 billion of office, industrial, retail, and mixed-use assets on behalf of our institutional partners. We own and operate more than 6 million square feet, and we're currently developing more than 1.5 million feet up and down the East Coast. And I should note, we do it from right here in Baltimore City. Many, in fact, most of our projects are out of the market. So I have to say, it's always a distinct pleasure to do deals in our own backyard. As some of you know, over the past few years, MCB has made major commitments to the Baltimore region by completing the acquisition of more than 1.5 million square feet of office and retail, including large commitments to the eastern corridor here, which include, many of you know, we own the East Point Mall, we own the American Can Company, and of course, most importantly today, Yard 56. Our total investment in the area to date will exceed $200 million, and we have an additional $150 to $200 million planned in investments in the city over the next 3 to 5 years. Needless to say, we're very committed to the Baltimore area. The first phase of this project will consist of 80,000 square feet of upscale and community retail, anchored by national retailer LA Fitness, and 100,000 square feet of office. Follow-on phases are slated to include residential apartments, a hotel, perhaps more office. In short, this project is a major game changer. The first phase alone will incorporate more than $77 million of private investment. As you all well know, the PEMCO plant that used to sit on this site represented a lot to a great many folks in this community. It was a center for employment in the city for decades and a source of pride to a very strong community. Then that employment went away, like it did in many other places, and the factory went dark and took all the jobs with it and left behind an absolute mess that frequently caught on fire. In fact, I'm sure some of you know, this thing was a big blaze about, 5-6 months ago. And internally, Peter and I always joke that this is the only property we own that looks exactly the same before and after every fire. But seriously, when this place went vacant, we ended up with a dilapidated environmental hazard sitting right in the middle of two neighborhoods across the street from East Baltimore's most important institution. It ceased to be a source of employment and pride, and instead represented despair, neglect, and decline. Well, folks, with all of your help, all of that is about to change. This new first-class development represents a rebirth of Greektown and Bayview and an exciting new chapter for this community and for Baltimore. Before I let you go, and let some of these very important speakers have a chance to tell you a little bit, there's really one super important thing I need everybody to know. MCB commits to build this for you. We'll get it done. But after it's built, it's not just ours, it's yours. It's a place where you need to shop, to hang out with your friends, grab a drink to eat, to work, and perhaps someday live. We need all of you to make this place a part of your life, part of your routine, part of your community. That's what will turn these pretty buildings that we're going to build into a long-term, community-changing success story. Thanks so much for coming out, so much for your support and enthusiasm so far. We still have a long way to get the project finished, but the most important part of every journey, as we all know, is the first step. Thanks for being here for the first step.
You know, these are always fun events, but it is particularly enjoyable when it's somebody from Baltimore that is doing a project. So how about another round of applause for David Bramble? Now we have a very aggressive agenda of speakers today, and everybody on stage has 20 minutes each. I'm kidding. I'm here to make sure they don't go more than 3 minutes. Our next speaker really needs no introduction. We've done quite a few of these groundbreaking and ribbon cuttings in the last couple of weeks, and this is a person who, when she took office, she brought many of us in the economic development world together, and she said, let's just get it done. Madam Mayor, here's another one. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Catherine Pugh.
Bill, let me just say, get it done is exactly our mantra, and I really appreciate the work that you all are doing. But Mr. Bramble, I want to say to you, what a perfect public-private partnership. Look what has grown out of that. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Let me just say to you all how excited I am about this. When I announced that we were creating our own $55 million investment fund, because this city needs this kind of investment, neighborhoods that have been underinvested in across the city. And as Mr. Bramble said, what we want to do is revive this neighborhood, the old Greektown, and make it a rich community. And let me just say, for those of you who have not heard, Baltimore is one of 6 cities that is up for $95 million of investment by the federal government, by HUD, in terms of being one of those promised neighborhoods. In terms of our continued investment, we have been selected 42 out of 44 neighborhoods across the city where we will become opportunity zones, and this too is a part of it. We're so grateful for what this will become, because we know that when we start investing in neighborhoods and communities that have been underinvested in years, that we will bring back people into our city, that we will have places that we can shop, we will have places that we can live. And when you're directly across from one of the greatest venues in our city, our hospital, Johns Hopkins, and I just got whispered in my ear, I'm looking for What was that big number? We'll share that. We're going to help you out with that as well. So let me just say to all of those who've been involved in this particular effort, when you talk about the 150,000 square feet of retail that will come available here, the 100,000 square feet of office space, 300 residential units new here, and 150 unit hotel space right here in this area. Imagine what that's going to attract. I always like to say to folks that we know that Baltimore is challenged, but it's how we meet those challenges every day. And we continue to stay focused on reducing violence. And let me also remind you all that this city will build more brand new schools in Baltimore City than the entire state of Maryland. 23 to 28 brand new schools in the next few years. These are complements to neighborhoods like this because we want safe places for young people to live, grow, and work. And we want to continue to attract families into our communities. So again, Mr. Bramble, your partners, and all that have been engaged, thank you for continuing to believe in Baltimore. Let us continue to move forward faster. Thank you.
Now, the mayor will be the first to tell you that we can't do anything in city government without partners. And one of her key partners, and my friend, the president of the Baltimore City Council, Jack Young.
Thank you, Bill. I'd like to say good morning to everyone. And I'm really excited. This project here has stalled so many times. And when David called and said, hey, we're getting that property, I said, wow. I didn't know what to think. But now we know that it's going to be developed. I want to thank Councilman Cohen, who's a councilman of this district, for just being there to make sure that there's no opposition. I want to thank Liam Davis, who is the president of one of the organizations in this community. But I want to personally thank Ms. Bramble for having a son that grew up in Baltimore, had a vision that he wanted to make a difference in the city in which he lived in. And I wholeheartedly support this project. And they didn't ask for any money. I want the developers out there to hear that. No money. All y'all asked for that I know of is environmental cleanup. And I think we did that. So I just want to thank him. This will be a one-for-one project with retail, hotel that Johns Hopkins Bayview can send their patients who wants to get treatment at Bayview. We're going to have a hotel, houses and retail and office space. It's going to be an exciting place. So we're asking everyone to look into and buy into this vision. Mr. Bramble said he wanted you to shop here. He wanted you to make it a destination point for you. And I want you to do that as well. Because when we have developers that's coming in and rebuilding in our neighborhoods, we need to make sure that we support it so that it won't go under, but it will continue to rise up and have more development throughout the great city of Baltimore. Yeah, we have challenges, but also we have a lot of good things going on in the city of Baltimore, and people need to start reporting on that. Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you. Any developer will tell you that a project like this is incredibly complicated. And one of the things you really need are anchors, strong communities around it, but you really need large employers. And it gives me a great privilege and honor to introduce the head of one of those major anchors in Baltimore, and the one right across the street, Dr. Richard Bennett, president of Johns Hopkins Bayview Medical Center and CEO of Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Thank you. I am the president of Johns Hopkins Bayview, but not the CEO of Johns Hopkins Medicine. That's my boss's boss. But all of them are aware of the importance of this project to Bayview, to our campus, to Johns Hopkins, and most importantly to our community. It's a unique asset across the street. We've been there since 1866. We're a community hospital with world-class research and teaching programs, but we're very engaged in our community and reaching out into our community. And we've been a major supporter of community development in East Baltimore since Hopkins took over in 1984. My two predecessors, Ron Peterson and Greg Schaefer, have partnered with Greektown CDC, with Southeast CDC, and some of their principals are here today, as we try to make this a vibrant part of the city, And if you've asked me over the last 10 years what was one of the projects that I most wanted to see getting done, it was this one. As I've told David and his team, it really is something that we're very supportive of. We at Johns Hopkins are working to understand whether we might do some of our own work here, and maybe even help partner with other organizations that would come here, because we would like, would like to work with them. So congratulations to the team. Thank you all for coming today. We look forward to a great success for this redevelopment. Thank you.
Dr. Bennett, thank you. I do know that when the mayor is here, we can give promotions.
There you go.
So,
Like what you wish for.
I'm going to take a moment here and introduce our next speaker, but I'm going to ask him to come up with the community leaders, because really local elected officials are all about the community. So I get to introduce Zeke Cohen, the councilman from the 1st District, along with Mike Ball, president of Bayview Community Association, and Liam Davis, president of the Greater Greektown Neighborhood Alliance.
First off, I want to thank our mayor for her commitment. I want to thank President Young, our state delegation, all the folks who've been supportive. I get the great pleasure of representing Southeast Baltimore, everything from Dundalk to Harbor East. This is a wonderful, diverse, thriving community. Bayview is in the heart of it. Just a wonderful nexus of different communities right here. And what is so exciting about this project to me is that it truly has incorporated the voices of our communities, right? Sometimes, we have so much interest because of what's going on here in South Baltimore, but to see the support from the president of Bayview, the president of Greektown, and all the different community members that are here today from all these communities, this is what community-based development should look like. And that's why I'm so proud to stand with Dave, and the president loves this. This is what good development is about in Baltimore. And I just have to echo the mayor's sentiments, which is that despite our challenges, when you look at a site like Pemco, with all of the environmental challenges, with all the issues, that this is going to be transformed to have so many amenities and assets. That's what Baltimore is about in this moment. So I'm just proud to stand here with my partners on either side and get this thing done. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I want to say thank you to MCB Development Yard 56 for doing this, becoming a part of our community. Becoming a part of our community really means a lot, as well as investing in our community. Last year we had a movie night. These guys, without them, it would not have been largely possible. So thank you guys very much. Sorry. And you know what? Long time coming. Thank you, and we look forward to the progress that's going to come. So.
And just to echo what everyone has been saying, I want to thank our elected officials, Mayor Pugh, Council President Young, Councilman Cohen, our state partners, and Senator Ferguson, Delegate Learman. This is a huge deal for Greektown, for Bayview, for the hospital. It's going to bridge us together. The community stands ready to shop and support this project. And I want to thank MCB, Dave Bramble, Al Berry for their efforts to reach out to the community, and their decision to invest in Baltimore City. Remember that cities are the future. We're really excited about this. Thank you.
Why does it feel like Liam and Mike were up all night in peace negotiations or something like that? Now, this part of town is blessed with great leadership at the state level, and we have two of our state elected officials with us today, and I'm going to call them up together, Senator Bill Ferguson and Delegate Brooke Learman.
Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to be here with you all. Let me first, there have been a lot of thanking around, and we could be here all day thanking folks, but I do want to mention a few specific community leaders who have watched this project along the way. I saw Father Michael from the church. Thank you for being here. We have, of course, Mike Ball and Liam Davis from the community associations. Delegate Pete Hammond, Delegate Pete Hammond, who's now with the mayor's office, but has been a part of this process for years and grew up in this area and has just been so passionate about pulling this together. I see Chris Ryer in the back from the Southeast CDC, who's helped facilitate these communications. Elaine Wilkie, thank you for your work over the years, pushing this issue and finding ways to move this forward. And Jason Philippou, thank you for your consistent engagement, for really pushing us to think differently. I just want to say the retail is going to be great. The commercial development is going to be great. The jobs are going to be great. What's so exciting about this project is what it symbolizes. How many folks in this room drove up and down Eastern Avenue, looking to your right or left, and saw this building standing across from Bayview Hospital, and thought to yourself, how is this possible? How do we have this world-class institution, and yet this right across the street? Well, you know what? This is complex, and this is hard. But the folks here today said, you know what? Darn it, we're going to push through that. This city deserves more. We deserve world-class development, and we're going to find a way to make this happen. This is a symbol of what's possible in the city of Baltimore, and it's because we came together and believed that we could do it. Here we are today. I cannot wait for the opening. And when is the planned opening?
Summer 2019.
Summer 2019. So I look forward to shopping here in the spring of 2019, folks. This is an exciting, exciting project. Let me just say, this is a moment that we should be celebrating. This is us locking our arms together and saying, you know what? We deserve it, and we're going to get it done. Thank you all for being here. I can't wait for the progress ahead.
Thank you. I'm also so honored to be here. I'm Brooke Learman. I'm here on behalf of the 3 delegates that I have the honor and privilege of representing District 46. It's me, Lou Klippinger, and Robin Lewis. And we're all just so thrilled that you did persevere to keep building this. You know, we do get invited, as Bill Cole said, to a number of groundbreakings. District 46 has a lot going on, but we don't go to all of them. This one we wanted to make sure that we were at, for a couple reasons. First, because of the historical significance that's happening here today. I can imagine that a little over 100 years ago, there was a groundbreaking for what became the Paint and Enamel Manufacturing Company, or PEMCO as we lovingly have called it for many years. And today, it's empty, and it has been for years. But now we get to say it's time to move forward. There are only a few other sites that we can say that about. Think about Bethlehem Steel and its evolution into Sparrows Point. Allied Chemical and its evolution into Harbor Point. And now today, PEMCO and its change into Yard 56. I'm also so excited and made sure I could be here today because of how dedicated David and his team have been to working with the community. I think you've heard a theme today, right? Over and over again. But not every developer takes the time to really engage and work with community members in the way that he has. And for that, I'm so grateful. And it's one of the reasons I'm so proud to be a partner and to be supporting this. I look forward to jumping on the treadmill at LA Fitness in a year. And I want to make sure that other people from all around the city can get here too, which is why I commit, along with Senator Ferguson and others, to make sure that we can eventually have a marked station at Bayview as well, so that people from all over the city can make sure that they can access this site, and we can have more transit-oriented development here in Southeast Baltimore. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you, Senator Delegate. Senator Pete told me he was here today to see it with his own 2 eyes because he worked on this for a long time. Our next, we have a special presentation now. Brett, can you come up? We have a special presentation by Brett Fulber, Marketing Director, MCB Real Estate.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brett Felber. I'm the Marketing Director at MCB Real Estate. I have the privilege today to make a presentation for a very special young man right next to me who's very familiar with the 5601 Eastern Avenue here. Sean Shellhouse is 28 years old and has autism. He has been intrigued with the old PEMCO buildings for years. He spends his spare time enjoying watching videos on YouTube of the old campus. and often asks his mother to drive him by when he's having a rough day. Sean, we appreciate your support throughout the years and know you're really going to like the transformation of this new property. So on behalf of MCB Real Estate and the new Yard 56, we want to award Sean with a Outstanding Citizen Award. And we're also going to present him with a picture book from past, present, and future of what PEMCO and Yard 56 will look like as well. So, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Brett. We're going to close it out here in a moment, and then after Dave is done with final words, we're going to head out and throw some, I guess it's mud now, to get this process underway. And again, I mentioned he's a Baltimore guy. He still lives in Baltimore, which is the most important part. David Bramble.
Yes, West Baltimore, but I love you, East Baltimore. In closing, Peter and I would just really like to thank, there's a lot of people that have to be thanked, I'll do it quick, but our investors and our lenders for sharing our faith in Baltimore, Mayor Pugh for her leadership and her challenge to invest in Baltimore's legacy neighborhoods like Greektown, Bayview, and Highlandtown, Council President Young and Councilman Cohen for their support of this endeavor, Bill Cole and Will Beck for the BDC, they were early supporters and key cheerleaders for this project from the very beginning. Thanks to Dr. Bennett and Johns Hopkins Bayview for providing support to this project at every turn and stepping up to the challenge of helping us get this difficult project moving. Thanks to all the community organizations, you've heard their names 1,000 times, in particular folks who were involved from the very beginning, Liam Davis, Mike Ball, Elaine Welke, John Gavrilis, Chris Ryer, Cindy Kuhn, James Pringle, and there's tons of other people who are here. I can't list them all, it would take forever. You all spent countless, and I'll quote, volunteer hours. Now I'm in for profit, they were there for volunteer hours, so I appreciate that. Working on this project, and thank you in advance for your continued efforts, because we're gonna need your continued support, and you know we'll be calling on you, and without you, we won't be able to finish this amazing endeavor. Thanks to our retail tenants. There's a lot of exciting tenants that I can't announce yet, but I can say thank you to LA Fitness, who is signed up and will be our anchor. Their willingness to bring jobs, products, and services to East Baltimore and energize this new hub as a place to be. Thanks again to the MCB team and our incredible professional teams, Al Barry at AB Associates, BCT Architects, MRA at GTA, Ballard Spar, CapEx Advisory, and 1,000 other professionals who helped us along the way. And most importantly, again, thanks to you, and I want to see you here in 2019 spending your money at the shopping center. Thank you.